What's the feeling that you get when you've built a gun like this and then you see one of your sponsored shooters get an overall match win with it? What does that feel like, knowing that you built it?
So like last week was the first time that's ever happened. It was like our first match. And it was a great feeling. I know that AJ is a phenomenal shooter, and he probably, would have took the overall win with another rifle as well. But there is something to be said that when those guys that shoot at such a high level, they sought out your builds, that's something to be said on its own, And same thing with this match. Zach Smith is shooting one of my rifles, and same thing. He reached out, and then we both kind of agreed on something, and that's where I take pride in that, is that these high caliber shooters are taking notice, and they're getting in contact with me for builds, and what more can you ask for? What's up, guys? I'm Mario Parada with SOF Defense, and we are a custom AK shop. We dedicate our time to build the most custom AKs that we possibly can, and we also do kit builds. So we go anywhere from kit builds to custom builds, competition builds, and we also do gunsmithing. So if you just need general gunsmithing on your AK, we also do that as well. So we're a one-stop shop when it comes to AKs. I'm based out of Phoenix, Arizona, and you guys check some of the builds out.
Do you remember how we met for the first time?
Yeah, we met at Red October, the very first one in St. George, Utah. I didn't shoot that match. I had never shot a match before, and I just went out there. I really wanted to meet Jim Fuller. That was my whole objective the whole weekend. Got to meet him, got to hang out with him for a little bit, shot his machine guns, walked around, met other great vendors as well. John from M13. It was just a really good time. And that right there created what you see here, SOF Defense. Also myself, made me go into competition shooting, not only competition shooting, but AK specific competitions. And it just threw me into the AK community, and I haven't been out of it since. There was a period of time where I dedicated a lot of my time to shooting, and it showed. Unfortunately, right now, I'm a little bit behind the workbench, a little bit too much, so my shooting's falling a little bit behind, but it's, I'm still okay. But I wouldn't change that for anything, man. I love being behind the workbench. I love also coming out here and shoot. It's like you said, I do both things, and I love it, man. So the day that I can't do either or will be the day that I stop. But more than likely, I'm probably gonna die behind my workbench, and I'm probably gonna be shooting out here until I'm like a grand senior on the categories.
I want to see some stuff that you have here on the table.
Yeah.
Show us something. What do you got?
Well, this is just the 7.62 Alpha Xenical build. Did the multicam on the receiver. And then this is the night vision setup. So I run this with my nods. This is the gun that I use. Obviously, you have to have the 4-piece. Does really well at night, hides a lot of the flash. So this is like my go-to, rifle if things were to kind of hit the fan right here. It's not suppressed. I don't have a light because I can see in the night. So this right here is my 5.56 competition build for the iron sight divisions, and I just put this really cool furniture from the Khyber Pass, and this match was actually a 2-day match where you could shoot 2 different divisions. So on Saturday, I ran it with a dot, which is my first time running a dot in a very long time. And then today I ran it with irons. And I love this gun. It's it's a sleeper, and then you get behind it and you shoot it, and it blows people's minds away. So it's a very flat shooting rifle, and I love this gun. And the way that you see this gun shoot, that's the service that I do provide. So if you guys have shot this rifle, have seen me shoot this rifle, if you guys want a rifle that shoots like this, get in contact with me, and I can make that happen. Next is my RPK. This is actually a post sample. I have an actual AOG in there, and it's not just the trigger, it's also the hammer. So this is probably the nicest full auto trigger you'll ever feel. This gun's extremely flat, super fun to shoot. Obviously the big LAF at the end of it. Write down in the comments, what does LAF stand for? I did this, I want to say maybe about 2.5 years ago. I combined what is an Occam handguard with a Texas Weapon Systems rail dust cover. The gun doesn't have a safety or a trigger right now. This gun was actually ran last weekend at the Cold War match by one of my shooters, AJ Anthony. He took the overall win with this rifle. And I threw on these irons right there, just so I could kind of have something. And somebody needed a trigger out here at the match, so I took it out of this gun and I put it in their gun just so they could have a trigger for the match, you know.
So you said that when you travel around, you're not only shooting these matches, but you're offering like repair work on the side. You have like a full workbench in the back of your ride here, and you're actually doing repairs in between stages.
Yeah. So last week for Cold War, I think I probably fixed about 7 to 8 guys' guns. I would say about half of them were like trigger stuff. They installed their LG incorrectly or something like that. One of the guys did have a seized firing pin on his bolt, so I had to, get that fixed for him. And then the other one was the guy's mag latch was not taking his magazines. Luckily, I carry a set of files, and I was able to get everything squared away for him. But yeah, that's one thing. When I'm out here in the matches, I tend to shoot the staff match, and then I'm available for the match, for the regular match. And if something goes down, man, I'm here. I'm helping you guys out.
What advice would you give someone in their youth that wants to get into this profession, to go out on their own and to open up an LLC or however and become a gunsmith?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard. It's very hard. There's days where you could look at your bank account and say, man, I could be making a lot more money doing something else. But there's those days like today and this weekend where, just being out here with everybody and, having your rifles out here performing and then myself performing, and, it just makes it all worth it, honestly. You're not gonna become a rich man. I'm gonna tell you guys that from the get. You're not gonna become this wealthy person doing this, but if you love what you're doing and you're getting paid and you're paying your bills and you're able to do stuff for your family, that's a win for me, man. So I really enjoy what I do. I love what I do. And like I said, I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I'm gonna keep doing it to the day I die.
In your opinion, as of October of 2023, what does the demand feel like? Like how many people are out there looking to have work done on AKs versus how many smiths there are available to even take on that work that are qualified to work on an AK?
I believe the demand is high. And that's why I went into that market of gunsmithing and, providing these services, because there's a lot of AK rifles out there and there's not enough qualified gunsmiths, so that's why I went in and, thank God that I have plenty of work. So if you guys get in contact with me, I try to reply as soon as possible. And I'm going to throw in the plug in right now where they can contact me. That's sales@sofdefense.com. I'll say it again, sales@sofdefense.com. Until my website's up. Once my website's up, you'll be able to contact me directly from my website. And I'm really excited for my website, guys. It's going to be something completely different from all the other AK Smiths out there. So that's why it's taking me a little longer to release it. But once I do, I believe you guys are going to love it. So, but that's the way you can get in contact with me right now. Just email that email address. The Instagram gets flooded with all this other nonsense, and the email is just more, I know people are meaning business there.
So let's say I'm just average dude. I see this video and I want to contact you. Now I know the email. So what's next? I reach out, we work out a price. What's the process of me sending you a gun? I don't live next to you. I've got to mail it. What's the process?
It's usually two ways, right? One way is someone reaches out to me and they go, hey, I want an AK, but I don't know anything and I don't have anything. At that point, what I do is I just ask you a couple questions of, all right, what caliber do you want it? What do you want the rifle to do? And what's your budget? And then we kind of go from there. And then the second way is people contact me, hey, I have this kit that I've been sitting on forever, or I have these parts, I don't have that part. Okay, cool. Send me the kit to this address and I can get the rest of the parts for you. And then this is going to be the labor cost right here. And then most of the time I'll take half the payment up front and then the rest of it when I'm done. Right now, my turnaround time as of today's date is 8 to 12 weeks. So, that's fairly quick. So you always want to include a copy of your ID. So I am an FFL, and every FFL has to log in the rifles or pistols, whatever firearm, into their books. And there has to be a copy of an ID. So if you send in a copy of your ID with just, a summary of what we talked about, that helps tremendously.
All the events that you go to all year long, if someone wanted to come out and meet you in person, but they don't live in Phoenix, do you know of any future events that you might be set up at where people could come meet you in person?
Kalash Bash, whatever happens with this match following, next year, the Red October match, I'll be there. The Kalashnikov match, I'll be attending that. And I don't know, let's see what I can find in between all that,
And your store, is it open throughout the week?
So I'm open up 2 days a week. That's Tuesday, Wednesdays, from 11 to 6. And those days are open to the public, and I try to do same day jobs. So if you come in and you just need like a trigger swap, or something small is going on with your AK that you can't quite figure out and I could fix it on the spot, you can come in and I'll fix it right there on the spot. I have a waiting area where you can hang out, and I typically try to get it done right then and there.
Last question before we shoot one of your guns.
Yep.
Where do you see AK culture going in the next 5 years?
So where I see it going, obviously I'm going to paint like a pretty picture, right? I want it to grow massive and, everybody shooting an AK. But in the reality of it, I feel like it's really going to change just due to the ammo availability. I feel like a lot of things are going to transfer or change into like a 5.56, 223 AKs. I mean, you're seeing a ton of that already now. So I think that's going to be the next wave. And I think it's also going to bring in a wave of new shooters that, say, hey, I didn't know you could shoot 223 through AKs. And it's going to be a larger wave. These events are going to get larger. Kalash Bash is going to get larger. Kalash Bash is going to get larger. Red October is going to get larger. So it's going to grow for sure. But I think it's going to bring in a new crowd for sure. It's going to be a new crowd. That's definitely for sure in my opinion.
Well, I've said it once and I'll say it again. In my opinion, Mario is the face of the modern AK culture. From building them to competing with them to just eat, sleeping. You told me today, bro, I don't know the last time I ever shot an AR. A guy came up and asked, yeah, I mean, you can like tune an AR. And you're like, bro, I can't tell you the last time I shot an AR. So Mario, he walks the walk and he talks the talk 100%.
And it's not that I don't like AR-15s. Let me just clear that up.
It's fine if you don't.
I'm just one of those people that I stay in my lane. So, this is what I know and this is all I want to know. So I don't dabber into other things, There's still a lot to be learned and done in this platform that I want to do. So I don't have time to dabber in something else. So that's why I just stick to this.
Well, that's the passion, man. I think that's a common thing I've heard from doing other interviews with AK Smiths. Like, you have to love the platform to really want to work on them as much as it requires.
Yep.
And yeah, man, we're all super proud of you.
Thank you.
We've known you so long before. I remember you having pipe dreams of this years ago. And look, man, look where you are now.
Yeah.
So congratulations on the new business. I know that your grand opening went really good.
Yep.
So congrats, man.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody. I wouldn't be here without everybody's support. So thanks to everybody that's bought something from me, has sent me a kit, has shown support in any way, because not all support comes from, financial stuff, sharing your friends, post, or just telling your other buddy that could probably spend some money there and then they go spend money. There's multiple ways of support. So I just want to thank everybody for that.
So this is what you shot. You shot mini matches with this gun.
Yeah, I think I shot last year's AK matches and, this year's.
Yeah, in fact, if you guys watch our Kalashnikon video, you'll see Mario shoot this gun with different furniture.
Yeah.
Same gun, though.
Yep.
And you'll see everyone cream their pants when he was passing it around so that they could shoot it. I want you to really pay attention when he shoots this. Watch the ejection pattern. Watch how flat this barrel is. It's 5.56, but typically 5.56 is quite a bit snappier than 5.45. It's unbelievably soft shooting. It's a freaking freight train, man.
I love this gun. With this gun, I'm shooting PMC, the 223 bronze. So I tuned it to that ammo. So if you run ammo that's in that area, which is about 29 FPS, 55 grain, it's good. The gun's gonna do the same thing. The thing is with 223 and 5.56 ammo, it's kind of all over the place when it comes to FPS and grains, and some loads are hotter, some are not. So if you want to tune something and not have to use like a KNS, this does not have a KNS or an adjustable gas block, that's the way to do it. You tune it to a certain type of ammo and you stick with that and you shoot that for the entirety of the life of the rifle.
I think that's the way of the future if you want a dedicated AK for competition. Correct. I really think that's the way to go.
Correct. The people that I always see struggling at matches are the guys that didn't zeroed with an ammo, and then showed up with different ammo to the match. There's like a few keys to success to a match, and that's zeroing your rifle with the ammo you're going to be using, show up to the match with that ammo, and then trust your zero. If you do that thing, you'll do very well at a match.
And I've seen people with tunable gas tune it last time they were out, they come out here and it doesn't work.
Correct. So it's like, oh, I tuned it to this ammo, and now I'm shooting this ammo and it doesn't work. Well, yeah.
I can't tell you how many people today we saw were not zeroed properly and had gassing issues.
Correct.
Because they had tunable gas and they messed with it.
Right.
This is unbelievably cool, and I've seen you absolutely destroy. In fact, you took first place at Kalashnikon with the same gun.
Yeah, with this one, yep. Didn't shoot as well this match, but you can't win them all.
This match was brutal, man. Super hot, and there's some freaking killers at this match. There really is, and that damn spinner, dude.
Yeah, spinner
was
got
brutal. Yeah. All right, cool. So this is the surgical knife.
Correct.
Let's do something that just straight up parties. Romy RPK kit.
Yep.
Big ass LAF brake.
Yep.
Third pin.
Yep. AOG trigger. Full auto. The complete trigger, not just the trigger itself, but the hammer as well. So here, just feel that real quick. I know if you felt other semi-automatic surplus triggers and full auto triggers.
Wow, you feel that on full auto. I mean, it feels like a semi-auto race gun trigger.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so this gun, it's a post sample, but also it's very tuned. I wanted to extend the life on this rifle because it is a demo gun. So, you know, it's not over gassed, it's gassed just right, just to extend the life of this gun. So, because this thing does get used and abused. I know Kalash Bash last year over the weekend, it probably had about 15 to 2,000 rounds through it. This was the workhorse.
I remember you and I shot dueling RPKs at Red October several years ago.
Yeah.
Full auto, like for score.
Yeah, that's when I did that trigger.
Yeah. Wow. The trigger feels so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that trigger feels so good. That's a beauty, man. So, every end of the spectrum, man, you do it all.
Yeah.
I've even seen pictures of you bird hunting with a number
pepper.
12. If you can get it, send me a picture of that if you have it.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate your friendship, as always.
Thank you, bro.
Congratulations on your success.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole AK community wishes you future success.
Yes.
Don't forget SOF Defense on Instagram. The email, tell them one more time.
Sales@sofdefense.com. Until the website's up. Once the website's up, you guys are going to love it.
You're going to love it. All right. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll definitely see you next time.
And the winner of the Modern Division and the match overall by a reasonably large margin, Zach Smith.
Hey! Prince Charming of the competition world.
Mario. This is the nicest gun I've ever shot in an AK match.